You're highly welcome. Our speaker is also here. Mr. Toshiku, you are welcome, sir. So we'll be starting now. Okay. Please, I will be recording the presentation, please. Thank you. Okay. As you know, my name is Ayodele Israel Ajayi. I am a medical laboratory scientist and also a learning and development specialist. I am the site coordinator for Fidelity Heritage and Career Consults Limited, and our watchword is excellence. Try as much as you can to impart. Please, if you are not speaking, please can you just move? And let your pause, please, please. Thank you. Okay, as I was saying, we try as much as possible to impart our participants and give them the best. And we don't just coordinate courses for the University of Washington, Department of Global Health. We also try as much as we can to let our participants know how to make good use of the certificates they are trying to acquire. So that is our goal, our aim, to see that our participants are great people, that we are producing, people that, yes, apart from the knowledge they are getting from the University of Washington, we also invite great and wonderful resources to speak to our participants. And that's why we are having Mr. Toshiku Ume this evening. It's a very wonderful person and a learning and development specialist. And I can tell you that it's going to be an impacting moment. So permit me to briefly introduce Mr. Toshiku Ume. Mr. Toshiku Emeka Ume is a highly experienced human resource professional with over 5 years of comprehensive experience in talent development and management, data management, administration, and system support. His skills include managing HR system and databases, analyzing HR metrics, and maintaining employee records. He's also proficient in payroll management with a proven track record in reviewing employee status and leavers, ensuring compliance with appraisals review timelines, and tracking training, code of conduct, and conflict of interest documents. Additionally, he has extensive experience in data management, including maintaining trackers of all recruitment and HR-related activities, drafting reports, and taking minutes during meetings. His expertise in this area allows him to provide valuable insights and recommendations to support the HR function and align with business objectives. Moreover, he also possesses a strong knowledge of Nigeria's employment laws and regulations and has considerable experience in managing a filing system for HR information, including sensitive and confidential data. He has also demonstrated his ability to formulate, promote, and implement HR policies and procedures that comply with national and international legal requirements. Join me to welcome the Learning and Development Officer for the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, Mr. Toshiku Emeka Ume. You are highly welcome, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ayo and colleagues, for having me. I sincerely appreciate, and I do not take this time for granted. Thank you so very much. It's a privilege to be amongst you today. But before I begin, just can anyone confirm if I'm very audible, if you can hear me very well from your end?
Yes, you are.
I hear you, sir.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thank you. At least now I know we are communicating. So Ayo has already told you about me, so there is not much to do in terms of introduction. So I am happy and privileged to be leading the conversation with you today on the importance of upskilling and reskilling in a rapidly changing job market. So permit me to share my screen so we can quickly engage. I hope that this session will not take us more than an hour and a half. So I will share my screen and I will run through a presentation quickly, guiding you through some of the key items I've noted out. And for the next maybe 30 to 40 minutes, and then we can open up the floor for conversations, because I believe that the best place where we learn is when we interact together. Every one of us has come here with a wealth of experience and knowledge, and it is on this knowledge we are going to build upon. You share your insights and I share mine, and all of us will learn together. So I really want to have that value addition part of the conversation. So if you came here just to listen, sorry to burst your bubble. I want you to reframe your mind to being here to contribute, so that others can also learn from you and you will learn from us. Okay, so quickly, we'll be discussing the topic, importance of upskilling and reskilling in a rapidly changing job market. And I tag these basically empowering yourself for future opportunities. Me and you agree today that the world is ever changing. We are moving from where we used to be to the new world of work. And we cannot approach this the same way we've always approached, every other thing in life. Care for most people, carefree. Let's just exist and wait for those times to come, and things will open up eventually. Oh no, don't worry, don't shoot yourself too much, don't be too bothered. We will cross the river when we get there. Let's just keep going. Yeah, this should not be the mindset of people who want to thrive in this generation, and more importantly, in the rapidly changing job market that we find ourselves in, and what is even unfolding. Time is gone when people want to go to school to study something and then come to the real world and expect what they studied in school to be what will happen in the real world. Me and you will see that time has changed. We are going to school to learn character, to learn diligence, to learn certain ethics and work values, that you bring into the workspace. But the real things you do in the workplace are not really, unfortunately, in our typical conventional public universities in Nigeria. This is not what we get to see. So that is why it is important for us to equip ourselves and prepare ourselves for the opportunities, both in the current time that we are in and even in the future. And when I'm saying the future, I'm saying it with the mindset of tomorrow, like tomorrow is the future, okay? Because we might go to bed this night and wake up tomorrow morning and everything the way we know it may have changed. A couple of weeks ago, we don't know about what AI was, and then suddenly we slept and woke up one morning and then the buzzword is AI. And before we knew it, it is changing rapidly how we work, what we do, and what we don't do. So we cannot sit on the fence and pretend that it does not concern us. So having said that, I want to ask us a question. How many of us has felt the need to learn a new skill for your current job in the past 1 year? Any one of you? Let me see by raise of hands or emoji, something, people who have. Okay, yeah. Nathaniel, Mopa, Sheon, Kenneth. Yes, I see. Adams, Ahonzo, Sheon, Linus. Excellent. Okay, so I can see that a couple of you have felt the need to learn a new skill to improve your current job. Now, the question I want to ask again is, for those who didn't, why did you not? And for those who did, what particular skill did you learn? Feel free to use the mic. Unmute, let's have a conversation. At least 3 to 5 persons should contribute. If you did not learn a new skill, what was the limitation? If you learned a new skill, which skill did you learn? Anyone, feel free, bold enough. You can just unmute and let's hear you. Okay, Sean, please.
Good evening, everyone. So I learned data analysis skill because I work in an epidemiology unit. So I learned how to use advanced data analysis tools like R, programming languages, use of R, and the use of machine learning to predict algorithms with healthcare data.
Wow. Lovely, lovely. Excellent. Thank you, Sean, for sharing that. Yes, anyone else? We may. Okay. Silvano Sahunzo, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone. So for me, over time, I've had to intentionally learn technical report writing and also learn proposal writing, and equally go for a data analytics knowledge and also learn just to really improve and get positioned.
Okay, proposal writing, data analytics. Nice, nice. Thank you. Who else? Anyone else want to share? Especially for someone who didn't learn, what was the challenge or limitation why you were not able to learn something new? Yes, Mopa?
Mine is not a limitation, though. I did a training related to design of experiments, specifically in generic drug product development. So I wanted to build on my knowledge and expertise in that area to be able to shorten the timeline to conclude product development, especially in the pharmaceutical product development. Over.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. Who else wants to share? I need 2 more volunteers, especially for those who had challenges. Maybe there was something you really wanted to learn, but then something happened, you were not able to learn it. So I really would love to hear that kind of story. Don't be shy. I have one I will share already. So for someone, there was something you really wanted to learn last year, you planned to do it, but one thing or the other, you were not able to. Anyone? Okay, before you recollect your thoughts. So for me, last year I planned to improve my knowledge on project management. And I was supposed to enroll for a course and take the course, sit for an exam and get certified, internationally. But challenge was funding, because I was hoping, because of the fund that was required, somewhere around $600 to $700, I was hoping that my employer was going to pay that for me. And I had all my plans set out, put out my proposal for approval and all of that. But then quickly into the year and boom, something happened, policies changed, and they suspended that opportunity I was hoping to explore in the first place. And now I could no longer afford it for myself. And that is where I got stuck. Then I tried to go for the free course. I found a free course with Google in partnership with another company that offered project management for free online. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the next best thing I could get. And then I jumped on it. But unfortunately, work got too busy that I didn't even have the time to finish the course. So I only took, of 11 modules, I think I did only 4 modules, and I had the rest undone until my free period expired that I could take the course. Now I no longer had access to take the course. So I would say I had challenges managing my time, procrastination, unable to, create adequate time to take the course eventually when I found one for free. And here we are, unable to continue. So this is my story. I don't know if anyone has a similar story to share. Please feel free. Let's have a conversation. Anyone has similar stories to share? Okay. Well,
I think Sheumbelo's answer is up.
I think that was from the previous comment, or is it a new comment she wants to make?
Oh, okay. I think it was from the previous.
Okay, let me share. If you don't mind, good evening, everyone. Let me share.
Good evening,
I think
please.
I have a similar one with you, Tochukwu. I also planned for that project management course last year, but I became so busy that I have the funds, but I became so busy that I know it would be a waste of resources because I would not be able to schedule time for it. Last year I did like 3 courses, and these courses are paid for in dollars. I was
Hello, Nathaniel, are you still here? Oh, we lost him.
not. Yes, I lost in. I got busy with work, and then I paid what I paid for. I could not get the knowledge, so I had to drop. And that was more reason why I didn't pay for the project management course, because I know my schedule becomes much more busier than before. So these are actually challenges. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Nathaniel, for sharing. That's quite relatable. Okay, and then Shadrach.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I thank you for the opportunity to share also my thought anyway. Okay, last year I wanted to enroll for my ASCP. I'm a very laboratory scientist, so I wanted to write an international exams, US international exams for scientists. I also wanted to do this course on leadership and management in health, hospital management and leadership. Unfortunately, for that, I could not do the leadership, management and leadership in health because the number we expect to have, we're not able to have it. That is number one. Then for the ACP, I wanted to do it. Then I changed job, and the new job was so demanding that I don't have time to read again. Okay. So what I did was, instead of just keeping myself like that, I just started to do something for myself. And I wrote for my MBA, which I'm currently doing at the moment.
Wow. I think I like your agility, you know. Every time you met a block, you diverted somehow and still did something meaningful with the time. Well done. I think I need to come and learn how you are doing that.
Thank you,
Not all of us are as disciplined as you. Okay, so having mentioned that, today we're going to be looking at this conversation generally. Our conversation will center around highlighting the importance of upskilling and reskilling in the face of evolving job market demands, and then how we can leverage technology, automation, and global shifts, that are transforming industries all over the world. And we'll look at practical steps for upskilling and reskilling in the current environment. So this would be the major focus of our conversation in the next 30-40 minutes thereabouts. So if you would cooperate with me, I'm sure we'll finish a little bit faster. Thank you very much. So in terms of definition, upskilling simply means enhancing existing skills to stay competitive in your field. Okay, that means you are learning something new to improve how you are doing what you're doing in your current job. For example, someone who is a marketer, typical marketer that would go from place to place, talking to people, advertising their product or service and what the case might be, now transitioning into digital marketing, learning digital marketing skills. You are still going to be marketing, you're still going to be doing the same job you're doing, albeit differently, using new tools or technology, leveraging innovation to bring about improvement in the way you do your job. So that is upscaling. Then when we talk about reskilling, we're talking about acquiring new skills to transition from your role to a different role, most especially when you are transitioning across industries, most especially. So for example, someone who is non-tech person learning how to code, like our colleague who told us earlier that she learned R, now she's going into programming as someone who typically would be dealing with maybe I think she's into, if I get very well, medical lab science, but now she's learning programming languages to be able to use R to do more things in the things that she's doing. It could be important for upskilling, but also more important for reskilling, because you could use it to transition entirely into a different field, for example. So, these two words can be used interchangeably depending on the context of how it is used. You could learn something, but then for you to know how best to use them most of the time is the purpose or the end result of where you are applying that skill that you have learned. So if you're applying it in your current job, then you have actually upskilled. But if you're using it to leverage upon to transition into a new skill or a new industry or a new role, then you are reskilling. So whether upskilling or reskilling, the concept is most likely the same, because in all industries, things are happening, changes are happening all over, whether in your current job role or maybe something, more amazing happening in the general work industry or in another industry that you think you can leverage upon, especially for some people that would want to, at some point, transition from or migrate from Nigeria to other contexts. You realize sometimes that when you go to certain places, some of the things you hold on as your skill and competencies would not be needed there. Okay, for example, some people would put in their CV when they talk about your skill and you're mentioning things like you can use Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint. Okay, yeah, that's great for some industries or for some context, but for some contexts, it's a no-brainer. It's something that we expect you to know how to use. So it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something even bigger or better. Okay, so with things like that, you know that, okay, when I'm moving to somewhere else, I need to have, improve myself with some other resources that will help me take advantage. Having mentioned that, we can see that there are certain things that influence the current job market. Okay, the job market is changing, and the critical things that are bringing about the change mostly is technology and automation. Me and you today, like I mentioned earlier, we've seen the impact of AI on the entire job market. From even your personal use, how you would, most of us now, if you use WhatsApp, which I believe majority of us will use, if not all of us, okay, you can chat with AI on your WhatsApp even. It has changed how everything else works. You can ask questions. Typically before now, everybody was, if you don't know something, go on Google it. But now if you don't know something, it's no longer Google it. Ask AI. Okay, so AI has come and it is changing. Machine learning is here. Robots, things are changing. We see robots that are now, attending to people in healthcare, for example, diagnosing people, trying to give them medication. We see robotic and influences even in and AI influence, especially even in legal industries, in especially advanced countries, where you don't need to hire a lawyer anymore. You can just use AI and it represents you. It has all the law. It can guide you, support you as far as the law is concerned, even to your specific case. So these are effects of technology and automation in the job market. Most of us today already know what technology and automation is doing to our job. People are afraid of AI, but then there is a saying that AI will not take your job, but people who know how to use AI will take your job. So it is influencing already the job market, even in your own current industry. And if you don't stay updated, if you don't improve yourself, taking advantage of technology and automation in your own industry, sooner or later you become redundant. gone some years ago, it was what we have today as all this maybe computer and all of those. We had typewriters. Some people knew how to use typewriters, and they were the most sought after people in the office back then. Everybody wanted someone that could use a typewriter. Oh, they are good. They are the pros. They can type. And as you're typing, you are very excited. You are valuable. But then technology happened and computers came. Some of them migrated on how, upgraded themselves on how to use computer softwares and all of those things to transition to the computer on how to type. Some did not. Those that didn't today are already in extinct because nobody wants to go and buy a typewriter today and begin to type. Everybody wants to use a computer. So if you don't take advantage of technology and automation in your own field, sooner or later, we'll leave you behind. Globalization and remote work. We see today that the world is gradually becoming a small village, because of the advent of globalization, especially with the innovation in technology we've seen today. Internet has connected us all in one globe. Okay, I can be here talking to people in another country, make friends all over the globe, share business ideas, do business deals, and all of those things. And there has been a rise recently. When I scroll through LinkedIn, I see a whole lot of jobs on that people are looking for in terms of remote jobs. A lot of jobs in terms of remote. Why is it so? People are beginning to understand that, for example, those in the advanced countries, they know that today, cost of labor in their country may be high, as again, also with all the other social benefits you must give your regular staff. But then when they hire people from other countries, especially developing countries, and they work remotely for them, deliver their jobs, and they offer them maybe just 20 or 30% of what they would have paid somebody who would do a full-time job. The person would be very excited. Imagine you are doing a job and they are paying you, let's say, $50 per hour. You'll be very excited because by the time you do $50 per hour and you do put in an 8-hour shift, okay, you know how much you earn. When you convert it to Nigerian Naira, you know what you are dealing with, like it's huge for you here. But for them, it may not necessarily be sufficient to hire somebody in their economy to do that job. So they want people where they could, leverage on cheaper job labor costs to reduce their cost of operations, also increase their profit also. So you see this leads to opportunities springing across globes for everyone to take advantage of. Across borders, opportunities are coming up. Also, other times people want to take advantage of competition. Okay, we see that, okay, labor is cheaper here, or there is more market in this area. They leverage on these things and push their markets in those places to make more money. So this is changing how the job market is happening. It is changing the job as we know it. People today are sitting in their house from morning till night, and you're wondering what are they doing? Content creation, because the consumption is over there in the other part of the globe. People are in high demand of whatever they are producing, in terms of content. So a whole lot of things are changing. And then we have now one part that has always been neglected, because when you ask people, even from the short experiment we did earlier about what you learned, we realized that people were learning things around hard skills, how to use this software, how to use that software, how to use this particular knowledge. Mostly people go to learn hard skills, but hardly people, it is becoming increasingly needed these days about soft skills, emotional intelligence, problem solving, creativity, adaptability. These things are becoming, resilience. These things are becoming more needed in the workspace because, generations are changing, and the more different generations we're having in the workplace, the more there is a need for us to find a way to work together and collaborate together. And then there is increased need, for these soft skills, communication, leadership, and all of those things. Are we also learning those skills? Okay. These are some of the things that are changing the job market, especially because of the kind of, transitions we are having from one generation to the other. Having said that, why is it important for us to upskill or reskill? Why is it important? First and foremost, is job security. You need to protect your own self from becoming obsolete. I mentioned earlier, if you don't upskill and reskill yourself constantly, you'll find out that sooner or later your job is no longer needed. We'll throw you out. We no longer need you. Nobody wants to work with you. Everybody will move on without you. Okay? Then the next is career growth. If you don't learn some new things, you probably remain where you are, doing the same thing you've been doing every year. People will come meet you there and move away from you. Okay, your interns tomorrow will grow up to become your bosses or your supervisors. You don't want that to happen. So you need to, cut a path for yourself, make a case for yourself to grow and prosper in your career only through upskilling and reskilling. And then it helps you to become economically resilient. It helps you to develop that ability to pivot when industries face economic downturns or changes. For example, for that our colleague that is learning how to program on R, if for anything happens and they say, oh, there is no more funding for this program that you're doing, or we have to downsize, I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Many people will be disturbed, but most probably not her, because she has learned a skill that she can pivot upon to transition into another industry and continue to earn. By the way, if in this age and time, you are not the kind of person that is able to create extra means of income apart from your regular job, then that means you are already one way, or should I say halfway towards your economic downturn, because anything can happen. Okay, if it happens, you are most likely not going to be sustainable, because once you lose that source of income, everything else is gone. Okay, so there is a need for us to upskill and reskill so that we can stay economically resilient. And then in terms of innovation and competitiveness, okay, staying ahead in your field, makes you become valuable. People will know that, this guy is resourceful. Anytime we go to this person, we are sure he's going to bring something new to the table. He's going to make life easy. He's going to, solve the problem. He's going to bring solution, and that improves your sellability, improves your value in your current field, because people know that this person always knows the newest thing, the newest technology. They know how to use it. Something new, a new buzzword comes up in your field of endeavor. You are one of the very first to research into it, understand it, and know how to use it. And you are never left behind. Okay, so you will stay ahead of the pack. You are always ahead. You know the latest innovation happening in your field. You're already upskilling yourself, burning your night candles, learning more about it. So this is some of the reasons why it is critically important that every one of us focuses more and puts more energy on upskilling and reskilling. Now, having said that, there are benefits, of course, of upskilling and reskilling. For upskilling, one of the benefits is that it enhances your current job performance. The more you learn about your current job, learning new things to deepen your expertise in your existing role, you become better. Your manager will see it. Everybody will know that this guy, the job that everybody else will do with 10 hours, you do it in 5 hours. A friend of mine was talking to me some time ago. I encouraged her to learn Excel and all of those things. And then she began to practice and she got a bit better. She's a banker. And then there was a time that she said there was a batch upload of something they needed to do with Excel and all of those stuff. And this is something that some people came to do weekend job, and they were only able to make about 500 entries. Okay. And this is 3 people working together from morning till night on a Saturday. Morning till night, 3 people were only able to make 500 entries. And this lady told me that for her own, she was able to do this job not from morning till night, from I think around 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock. That's 2 hours. Is it 2 or 3 hours thereabouts? She was able to make 1,000 entries. And I'm like, wow, that was massive. Something 3 people did, a whole day, and they could only achieve half of what you achieved in a couple of hours. It shows mastery. When you have learned certain things, it replicates in the way you do your job. and it is obvious. And the more you get better in your job, the more you win the heart of your supervisors, the high likelihood that your end of the year performance will turn out better, the more likelihood that you will get better job related salary increase bonus compared to your peers, depending on the structure of your organization. Okay, but there is always something, in doing your job better. And by that, you get even more satisfied with your job. You become increasingly satisfied, your confidence will increase, your competence will increase, you become better. You enjoy your job even much better than anyone else. And then you increase your potential of earning. I already mentioned, for example, your annual salary review, chances are high that your percentage will be higher than your peers who would do the regular, and not do better. Okay, and even apart from that, you get noticed. Because you are getting noticed when there is a opportunity for promotion or higher roles or responsibilities, they be like, give it to that guy. That guy is good. He knows what he's doing. So you find yourself with potential to increase your income. So this is some of the advantage when you upskill. And then when you reskill, it opens you up for new career opportunities, transitioning, very smoothly to different roles, different sectors, different industries, even different contexts, talking about geographical context. You will never be out, you never be stranded. You find yourself with opportunities opening up for you everywhere you turn. And then you find yourself being able to adapt better because you are not dependent on one skill alone. Anywhere they put you, you can survive because you have a repertoire of skills that are in demand, not skills that are obsolete. When we're talking about skills, I'm not saying, for example, you now go and begin to learn typewriting skill. I mean, who needs typewriting skill these days? What do we need it for? Okay, go and learn how to type, use the computer, use softwares. There are functionalities in it that you don't know how to use. You learn to use them, do something better. Okay, so you find yourself, you are able to cope no matter the job market you find yourself in. No matter what they throw at you, you are able to survive, you're able to cope very, reasonably with a very short time. And then you realize that another benefit you get is future-proofing your career. You know that no matter where you find yourself, you are able to survive, you can cope. You know that there is always a job for me. I was telling someone, I think 2 days ago, I was talking to a colleague a friend rather, who went through a job process and he lost out. He was very devastated, because he really was very hopeful for that job. But unfortunately, he couldn't, get the job and he was super devastated. I was telling him that, see, at the end of the day, yeah, you lost this, but look back within you. You have a lot of skills, not just in that area where you are even thinking you wanted to get the job. Don't restrict yourself to the one particular job. You have multi, opportunities that you can leverage on. Okay, so when you know your capacity, you have built enough capacity, you have, upskilled and reskilled yourself over and over and over again, you are no longer worried about whatever happens. If they say, oh, this job, you are no longer having this job, we terminate this job, oh, thank you very much. You are looking at everything and everywhere because you know that you can do a whole lot of things, and you can cope anywhere, you can put your head anywhere and you'll survive. So that will mean that people like you will cope. Your career is future proofed. You just know that it doesn't matter where. I know I will cope. I will survive. I know anywhere I go, there is something there for me because I know I have what they need that I can offer them. So these are some of the benefits. I'm sure there are more, but these are the ones I think that they are germane that we need to focus on. That if you really want to survive, if you really want to succeed, these are the things you should be thinking about that will help you know that, see, no matter how challenging it is, no matter how inconveniencing, no matter how the cost, it is an investment. And typically, just talking about investment, people often think that when we say investment, it should only be about investing in real estate or investing in stock market and all of those things. Spending money to learn something for yourself is an investment. If you see it from that perspective, you know that if I want to get somewhere, I need to strategically invest in myself to acquire the skills and competencies needed to get there. And that is why you begin to now pay closer attention on What do I do to skill on myself or reskill myself so that I will be ready for that opportunity when it comes? They say success happens at the junction where opportunity meets preparation. So the ball is in your court. Having mentioned that, some of the trends I've roughly mentioned some of the industry-specific trends that we see. For example, in the software, in the technology industry, we see software development, cloud computing, cyber security. These are buzzwords. These are things that are happening for some people that are in the technology field. And for some of you that are already in healthcare, we are seeing nowadays about telemedicine. I don't need to go physically to the hospital to get diagnosed, to get a prescription on what kind of medication to take to get better and all of those things. You can even, you can see some apps these days, you go on the app, you put some details about yourself, then it already begins to analyze your case, your situation, and be able to suggest for you what to do, what not to do, at least on the basics. Okay, we see medical technology, we see patient and care management. All these things are being revolutionized, especially in this kind of industries. In terms of finance, we are hearing, for example, fintech, the merger of finance and technology. We are seeing blockchain, changing how finance is happening. We are seeing data analytics, not just in finance, in almost all fields, becoming increasingly necessary and, a buzzword in almost all fields of endeavor. And then in terms of retail, we are seeing e-commerce, supply chain management, digital marketing. These are things that are coming up that are changing the way traditionally that these industries normally would function. Okay, things are changing. It is no longer the way we used to know it. It's no longer what it was in the days, in some years ago. Things are changing, and these are just what we know for today. Of course, these changes are almost happening on a rapid basis. So by tomorrow now, we might begin to hear new buzzwords. But no matter what it is, the point is things are always changing. If you don't adjust to change, you'll be left behind. Okay, so that is why we must be aware and continually enforce or make efforts to upskill and reskill ourselves. Now, how do you do this effectively? Knowing what to do is only halfway of the journey. Okay, but knowing how to do it well is the main goal. Knowing what to do, yes, I know that I need to learn, but it is not enough. What is more important is how do you do it well? I told myself a couple of years ago that anything I do, I will autograph it with a sign of excellence, whether it is paid or free. My role here is to make sure that I put a signature of excellence in anything and everything that I do. And I invite you to do the same thing also. So how do you upskill and reskill effectively? First is to identify your learning needs. What do I know? You need to appraise yourself. Sit down and ask myself, what are the skills that I have? What do I want out of life? Where do I see myself going? In the next 5 years, where do I see myself positioned? Do I think the skills I have is enough in the industry where I'm operating currently? Do I have what it takes? What are needed? What does my manager mostly complain about? What can I do to become better in the job that I'm doing? Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? What do I do to position myself in a way that in that next 5 years, I'll be proud of myself in terms of what I'm achieving? Okay, so you need to sit down, carefully tell yourself, you see, you can deceive everybody apart from God and yourself. But every other person, even the devil, you can deceive the devil. But you cannot deceive God and you cannot deceive yourself. Okay, and that is why it is critically important that you tell yourself the truth. Sit down and analyze your gaps. What do I really know? What are the ones that are making me scared? Which one is my manager complaining about? Which one are my colleagues complaining about? Which one do I think is needed in the next phase of my career or next phase of my life? How do I learn it? Make sure you analyze yourself properly. And then you research about where can I now, when you now know your skill gap, oh, I am not good with leadership management, or I'm not good with emotional intelligence, I'm not good with Microsoft Excel skills, and if I see myself becoming an analyst, then I need to know these things. I need to learn it. Then the next thing will now be, where do I learn it? Then where do I learn it now? You now begin to research platforms where you can learn. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Some of them you have to enroll in school like you're currently doing now. Kudos to all of you being, on this program you're currently running with IO and the other the school is partnering with. Okay, this shows how interested you are to improve the next phase of your life, and that positions you, to see where can I take these courses. Oftentimes people don't, there is a gamut of free resources in this mock open courses that you find online that people unfortunately don't take advantage of. And someone has paid for it for you to learn. But I'm surprised that someone who says they don't have a job, they are looking for a job, you find them always on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and they are there consuming content, making money for other people. But you are not learning how you can leverage, that same tool you're using to make money for yourself. All these things are freely given on some courses that you can find online. You can leverage on Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, even Google Learning. Google recently has launched a program where you can find a whole lot of in-demand courses for free. I just recently stumbled across it a couple of days ago, and I found out, oh, wow, Google has paid for me to do project management. And I'm like, now I have a second lifeline. I will not let this slip out of my hands. Okay, so there is a whole lot of things going on, and these things mostly are free. Some of them are paid, of course, but then the payment is a little bit. For some of you, your jobs require certain certifications, and then you sit there and say, oh, because I don't have a job, I'm looking for a job. But then to get a job, that certification is needed. And then you sit there waiting for jobs, and you are begging people, begging your friends, please subscribe for me now. I don't get data. Oh, please help me buy recharge card. Oh, please help me with urgent 2K. But why won't you ask them to help you subscribe for a course you can learn so that you can improve yourself, acquire that certificate that will improve your chances of getting the job you need? Oftentimes people don't do this, and that is very sad. Okay, so I would rather, I am more inclined to give someone money that tells me, please, there is this course or there is this program I'm running. I'm short for money. Can you please support me to do this program? Now, someone who will ask me for urgent 2K because they need to travel, or they need to buy a particular clothes, or they need to solve some sort of family problems. Family problems don't ever end. Okay, so this is the next stage. Where do I learn it? And then the next one is to build a personal learning plan. See, what you cannot quantify, you cannot achieve, okay? So if you want to learn, when you now find the course, now you need to build a plan. How many hours do I commit per day, per month, per week, to study this course, to make sure that how long do I give myself to make sure I obtain the certificate? It's not just going into it and wasting time. What can I do? How do, you set up your own goals. Why am I even doing this? Because sometimes if your why is not strong enough, you get discouraged with a little discomfort, you get discouraged. Okay, small challenge here, you give up. But if your why is strong enough, you will realize that chances are very high that you will see it through to the end. And that is why you need to build for yourself an objective. Set it very clear. What is my objective? When am I going to achieve it? What am I going to do? What mechanisms do I need to put in place? What support systems do I need? Who should I call to hold me accountable to make sure that I follow through this plan that I set to achieve it? Okay, so you set for yourself this plan, set a timeline, get committed, get an accountability partner, because sometimes you will lose focus on your own. But if you have someone nudging you, have you done this? You are supposed to be at this stage by this time. So sometimes you need a mentor, you need a coach, that will guide you and support you through making sure that you achieve that learning plan that you set for yourself. And through it all, stay consistent. Don't give up. Things will come, things will happen. But then if you have a strong why, you will realize that you will be able to discipline yourself enough to stay consistent on your learning journey. Okay, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Okay, so you don't just learn, just do 1 or 2 weeks and then you give up and that's the end. No, you need to continue. You need to keep giving in. You need to keep pushing as much as you possibly can, So continue to commit, stay consistent. Now, there are barriers, of course, things will happen. So how do you overcome it? Time management, like I said, you need to come up with your strategy to find time, even though you are very busy, just like myself and Shadrach mentioned. Okay, we are very busy, but then I'm happy that Shadrach managed his time well, unlike myself. Okay, so we need to build strategies to manage time well. Even if it is 1 hour you can create per day to commit to that study, to commit to that program, to commit to that learning activity, it will serve you best. Because at the end of the day, if you are not disciplined enough to come up with a strategy, you will realize that you are wasting your time and resources for nothing. Okay, so you need to find strategies or develop a strategy to find time to manage your learning plan. And then the cost for learning. Okay, cost of learning. There are some free and affordable resources. You can explore them. I mentioned some of them earlier. We have a gamut of them, depending on what your area of focus would be. You have a lot of resources. Even the best way to start, you can just go on Google to ask, I want to learn this skill, but I am looking for a free course where I can learn it, a free program or courses with scholarship. You'll be amazed at what is available at your fingertips that you never knew were there. So some of them are free, okay? So this is, if you cannot afford the paid ones, look at the free ones, okay? Other times also talk to your employer about possibility of them funding some of this program for you, even if it is partial funding. Talk to your employers. You might be amazed that there may be a program available to help you, take those courses for free, or even partially funded by your employer. Talk to your sponsors, talk to your family members, talk to any benefactor in your life that you have that is willing to support you. Someone who wants to give you money, if you have any problem, come to me. This is the problem you need to go to them about. Uncle, daddy, senior brother, senior sister, I have this program I really want to learn. I need it 5 years down the line in my career. It is relevant for me, and I need you to support me. It's just $200. Please, I need your help. Even if you can't give me all, give me some. Let me find, from my savings and complete it. When people see how enthusiastic you are about learning, chances are that they will do their very best to support you. Then the next thing is you need to overcome your own self, because there is this popular scriptural verse for Christians that says something along the lines of what do they call it? Something more like who can stop us? Something of that nature. More like nobody can stop you for whatever you will, but yourself. Not even God. God will not want to stop you. So the only one that can stop you from achieving anything is you. So if you make up your mind you want to achieve anything, then where there is a will, there is always a way. So oftentimes you will face challenges, resistance here and there from finance, family pressure, one thing or the other. But then you need to shift your mind to overcome these limitations. Oftentimes also people are afraid. Oh, this is too expensive. Oh, this is too challenging. This is too demanding. I cannot afford it. I cannot be able to, all those fears that you have, you need to train your mind to overcome them. Okay, it is solely within you to overcome those challenges that are coming your way. So you need to train your mind to overcome them, overcome your fears, overcome your limitations, whatever it is. Nobody can stop you when you really want to achieve anything in this life. Okay, so that is where you need to really, really, really focus on. Every other thing is dependent on other people significantly, but you see your mind, it is only your mind that can stop you. So if you can defeat your mind and conquer your fears, then you are already halfway there. Having said that, some practical steps I want to recommend that will help you, to upskill and reskill even in this current environment is, break it down into smaller achievable steps. Don't look at the whole gamut of, I have 10 modules to do. 10 modules will require 8 hours. Man, I don't have 8 hours. Leave this thing. When I have 8 hours, I'll come back to it. No. Check these 10 modules. Can we focus on the first module? How many minutes is the first module? Typically, the first modules are mostly introductions. They don't take so much time. Let us start with the small ones first. The small ones, let's start it. Okay, today, even though it will take me 3 hours, I will do 30 minutes today, and that's all I can do. So it's fine. Do it. Small. Take that small step. Okay? Then leverage mentorship and network. Excuse me. Some of us, I think many years ago, I was in Lagos and I attended a seminar, and the man said something I've never forgotten and I will never forget. He said, in every 4 people you meet, one of them knows or has what you need for the next phase of whatever it is you are looking for. Okay? So oftentimes we neglect the power of the people around us. Oftentimes we are looking for our helper from, a very far place, well adorned in some sort of, I don't know what to call it or tag it. But we often neglect the people that are very close to us. We neglect the gate man, not knowing that gate man has access to the overall boss. We neglect the messenger in the office, not knowing that messenger has direct access to the boss. He can, and they have good relationship, and he can tell the boss some things, and the boss will listen. We often neglect the people, even our peers. We don't know that some of these our peers that we neglect, they have someone that has someone. Okay? Oftentimes what you need, somebody around you already has it, but you don't know because you are not, actively engaging in the networking market. Okay, so we need to consciously, open ourselves to networking, to build our network, especially for industry insight. What is happening in our industry? What's the latest thing? If you most times also there are some associations, professional associations. You'll be doing yourself a whole lot of damage if you want to be a professional and you have not been able to identify both locally and internationally your professional body to associate with them. Things are happening there. The latest invention is developed, discussed, and taught in those fields. If you don't find it and engage in it, you'll be doing yourself a whole lot of disservice. Okay? And even in those sectors there, you connect with people that will open doors that you never can imagine, right? So get actively involved. Don't go there to be a parasite. Go there to be actively involved. As you're learning, you're teaching. As you're collecting, you're giving back. That is how it should be. Network with people and also open up yourself to support people, because as you're looking for something from someone is also looking for something from you. The more, if you give me what I want, I give you what you want, the world is a better place. And then you need to apply your new skills. You learn these skills, you need to look for a way to apply it. And that takes me back to one of the conversations we had with some friends a couple of months ago about volunteering. You've learned that skill, but then that skill is not what is needed in your current job. There is something about skills, especially for hard skills. When you don't begin to put them into practice, you often lose them. You forget them. You forget how to use them. So that is why you need to find opportunities to get your hands real dirty, get your hands busy, practicing that thing you have learned. Look for real life projects. Look for side gigs, even if it means you're not going to be paid for it, so that you can specialize, you can master it. And when people know that this is the skill that this person has, automatically it begins to open doors for you, right? So you need to find opportunities to get your hands real dirty doing those things you have learned. Then, more importantly, don't just keep going and keep going and keep going without reflecting on how far I have come. What have I achieved? What are the challenges I have faced? What could I have done better? Appraise yourself. Check yourself. Am I doing this job the best way I possibly can? There are some things you do and people will be like, oh, you have done marvelously well, you're doing great. But within you, you know that, I never even do enough. This thing what I do, I didn't do it well enough. I know that I could have done better. But then, appraise yourself. Only you can tell yourself the truth. You cannot deceive yourself. Take time. Appraise yourself, and when you see you have made progress, celebrate yourself. Not kill yourself. Oh, this thing I don't know how to click before. Now I have learned how to click. I don't know how to do PowerPoint presentation before. Now I know how to put PowerPoint presentation together that will be very attractive. And, I don't know how to do this thing. For now, I have learned to celebrate your small wins and then look out for, where could I have done better? Make adjustments where needed. Be your own critic. Tell yourself the truth, because if you tell me to criticize you, I might be looking at not to harm you or hurt your ego, and I will tell you lies. But when you tell yourself the truth, you know within yourself that truly I have progress in this area. I didn't do so well in this area. I should have done better. Then you see yourself doing much better when you tell yourself the simple truth. Having said that, now the floor is to you. I want to give you the next 2-3 minutes. Okay? Just reflect on yourself. What are the top 3 skills that you need and that you have already? And then what skill would you love to develop? What skill would you love to increase or to learn on? Okay, first to identify the first top 3 skills you think is your key selling point. Okay, and then which one, at least one, would you like to develop? Something new you want to develop, or which of the skills you want to improve upon. Okay, so just reflect on this for the next 1-2 minutes. I'll keep quiet, and then I hope that 1 or 2 of you will be willing to share his or her experience, or just anyone who is bold enough to share. Okay, so feel free. I'll leave you for another 1 minute to think, and then anyone who is ready can share. Okay, I hope you've been able to reflect on your top 3 skills and anyone you'd like to learn going forward. Okay, so the floor is yours. Who wants to share with us either the top 3 skills you've identified for yourself, or the one you want to learn or develop on? Anyone? Especially from those who have not spoken before. And I hope I can get a lady to share, at least starting with a lady. But then, guys, please feel free. Anyone? Is there a skill you want to learn? Am I audible? Okay, Shadrach, please, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you for your wonderful presentation. I've actually learned a lot from this presentation. Thanks so much. Yeah, let's talk about the ones I want to learn. One, I'm not very good at Excel, so I want to scale my proficiency in Microsoft Excel and also graphics.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for sharing. When it comes to Excel, I can give you some recommendations. I learned Excel a lot on YouTube, and you'll be amazed at a whole lot of resources that are out there for free. Like virtually, in fact, if anything that comes to your mind you want to learn on Excel, just go on Google. How can I learn this thing with video clip? You will see a video of it by, at least for every thing you search, you will find nothing less than 10 different people that have explained the same thing in different ways. I mean, it's always sweet. I love watching YouTube. For me, my best tutor on how to use Excel on YouTube, if you can find Leila Gorani. Leila Gorani is a very, very down-to-earth. She just knows how to teach Excel. Very easy, sweet, and you will enjoy it. So please search for Leila Gorani on YouTube. check her content, you will be amazed at what you find. You'll be amazed. And when it comes to graphics, thank God for what Canva has come to help us. Canva, Photoshop, you know, with the advent of AI in them these days, you have a gamut of templates that you could just pick and make slight changes, and you produce wonderful graphics. And you can watch tutorials. They have tutorials on them, how to do them and all of those things. So you can explore Canva, especially because it has a lot of ready-to-use resources that makes designing super, super easy for you. So please explore that option. So you will be amazed at what you find. Okay, anyone else who wants to share?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Anyone else who wants to share? Let me check the names. I want to call someone. I hope I find a lady. Don't be shy if I call your name. Ewa Oluwani Temi Olu. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it well. I have also Ido. Please share with us. What would you like to learn, or what are your top 3 skills that you've identified? Any one of you. I also have Uime. Please, who wants to say something? Any one of you?
Hello, the floor is opened.
Yes, Mopa, please go ahead.
So you could talk about problem solving as a skill.
Yeah.
You can also look at communication skills. You can also look at something like that. I think those are some of my immediate thoughts. Yeah, problem solving, communication, management skill too, team building, and I think those are key skills, especially when you work in a team. You want to have those kind of skills too, in addition to others.
Excellent. Excellent. I totally agree with you, sir. You are right on point. Excellent. Thank you for that submission. Okay, so for sake of time, I'll move on. So it is Abraham Lincoln that said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So what are you doing with your future? Are you sitting on the fence, waiting for the future to come so you know what to do? Are you relaxing, waiting to see, we don't know which way to go, but then when we get there, we'll figure it out? No, don't leave it to chance. If you want to be an engineer, you need to start learning engineering. If you want to be a cyber security specialist, you need to start learning it. Create that future you want already for yourself. Don't sit on the fence. Don't wait to be spoon-fed. Don't also rely on only one thing that you already know. The world is changing, and that is happening real fast. Before you know it, the skills you had that you were leveraging on and shining with might become obsolete. Are you constantly reskilling and upskilling? Are you learning new things? Are you even aware of the changes happening in your industry? Are you equipping yourself? Are you getting set? Are you getting ready? The best way to predict your future is to create it. Don't sit on the fence. Go to work to begin to create your future. With that, I've come to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. Feel free, if you have a question, contribution, comment, please, let's hear you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tochukwu Ume. That was a very wonderful session, and I believe every one of us were positively impacted. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, sir.
We'll be opening the floor now for questions. If you have questions for Mr. Toshuku, please, you can raise up your digital hands now. Then we call you. Please, if you have questions, just raise up your digital hands so that we can call you. Okay. Is it that there is no question? Any question, anything maybe that you are not still clear of? Okay. Mr. Shidrak.
Okay, thank you so much, the organizer and also the presenter. Mine is not a question, mine is a commendation. I want to commend the facilitator. He actually did justice to this particular topic, and my eyes has been open to new things, and I'm going to put in practice some of the things he mentioned through the course of this presentation. So I'm going to say thank you for organizing this, and also thank to the presenter for such a wonderful presentation. I wish something like this would come often. It will help us a lot. So thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we call Mr. Adams now.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tochukwu. This is it's a wonderful presentation, but my question is, how do one fight procrastination? I think it's one thing that bites a lot. I really want to know because I've been looking for that. This is it's a wonderful presentation, actually. I've been looking for even just a small write-up on procrastination, but I think this is one point I really want to see how I can fight it personally. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I'm happy to be telling you because I'm one bad procrastinator. I often get more motivated when the time the deadline is closer than when it is farther. So that's when my energy and creativity comes to life most of the time. And yeah, so basically it is not the best thing to do because typically when you procrastinate, you find yourself running against deadlines most of the time. You're always close to the deadlines, and you exert more energy to get things done at the dying minute, so you beat the deadline and all of those. It has a lot of psychological and physical impact on you, and more so it puts you as someone who is never serious, not organized, does not plan, and all of those things. So basically, what I recommend is if you have to do anything, there is this book. If you have to eat frog, eat the ugly ones first. Okay, so if you have to do things, there are many strategies to beat procrastination, and that goes back to time management, how you manage your time. So first thing first is, what do I have to do, or what do I need to do? Then how can I break them down into smaller portions so that I don't see them as too big? Or oftentimes also I come to realize that people procrastinate when they feel like, this task is a small task. I can do it in 10 minutes. So let me leave it for later. So the best way to beat it is planning. When you are able to plan properly, you'll be able to beat procrastination. What must I do? Break it down into smaller sections, and then try to put time frame to them. Oh, I need to be able to achieve this task by this date. I need to have done A, B, C, D. Then focus on the smallest one. I know we talked about focus on the small tasks. Take the small tasks first. Do them gradually. Do them when there is no pressure. Before you know it, you would have achieved a whole lot more. And another way to beat procrastination is don't bite more than you can chew. You carry so much things on you, and then when you look at all the things, you get overwhelmed. Oh my God, it's a lot. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that, and then you forget. Okay, so these things happen. So for you to be able to not procrastinate, you need to structure what you need to do. Okay, I need to do this. You plan it well, put a time frame around them, then get really to work. Small thing here, small thing there, small here, small here. Before your deadline, you realize you've done quite a lot. There is this Eisenhower's prioritization matrix. You might want to research about it if you don't know it already. So you can consciously deploy it. Like if you see here for me, this is my to-do list. Okay, so every day in the morning when I come to the office, I ask myself what must be done. Then I list all the very important tasks. And then I begin to look which one is more important than the others. Which one can I postpone? So I jot them down. And immediately, if you notice here, I strike some things out. So immediately I achieve each one, I strike it out. I'm done. So by the end of the day, it is always in front of me on my table. So by the end of the day, and I look, I'm like, okay, have I been able to do the most important tasks for the day? If not, then I have to begin to plan for tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow when I come, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and then I'm taking mental note of those things and I'm preparing for them. Okay, so I want to strongly encourage you, see how you can use to-do lists, learn a bit more about Eisenhower's prioritization matrix, and then deploy those strategies. It will help you manage your time and be able to beat procrastination. You see yourself doing a whole lot more in a shorter time frame. Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to respond to your questions favorably.
Thank you so much for that response. That was great. Is Mr. Sivanos Aonzo still on the call? You were raising your hand.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Okay.
I was raising my hand earlier, but I'm happy that the question just addressed now somehow in between the response of the facilitator, he had been able to also handle what I want to ask. And also, let me use this opportunity to really appreciate Fidelity EduTech Career Consult Limited for organizing this, and most importantly also for our facilitator. I'm really happy learning from all you have said. I'm also encouraged because one thing I think at a point I couldn't really hear, and maybe that was when you were asking about what course or something we will be willing to take now. Sometimes as a career person, as we grow, and I found myself in that, but somehow your presentation helped to address that. The desire, for instance, to just really want to learn, and sometimes it looks as if you want to learn much and do much, but just as like you were emphasized about having a plan, having a focus, having an accountability. So I strongly believe if that process is followed by me, then I can see myself really achieve great things, achieve career growth. Should I use the word sequentially now, rather than cluster everything at the same time and then be overwhelmed and possibly like that. So really, thank you so much, sir, and I
Thank you.
appreciate. Over.
Thank you for your
Thank you so much.
kind words. I appreciate it.
Mr. Nathaniel Afolabi, you have the floor, please.
Thank you once again, the facilitator and our speaker. Thank you both for bringing this type of discussion at this time. It's a commendable thing, and I think these are ongoing discussions that does not end here. They're quite good for to have this kind of discussion so that you'll be able to evaluate whether you are actually growing, because sometimes for some of us who are at the peak of the educational ladder now, you still discover that despite having all the educational qualification, there's still things that are there to learn and things to know. So it's always good to have this type of discussion and see what other areas you could garner knowledge from and be able to improve yourself. But again, one of the things that I would love us, I know you may not necessarily have the answer to it. I also do not have the answer, but I just thought it wise to also raise it here, is around the issue of you get to a certain peak in your career, and then you discover that you wish to learn, you wish to upskill yourself or reskill yourself, but then you are so much busy with so many things. In the last few years, I know I have to supervise close to more than 30 people across the country. And then before you do this, before you do that, despite the fact that I delegate, you still have all things coming back to your table. You got so much cumbered with things to do, and you're unable to actually service yourself. And that's where I'm going. We know for someone who is busy, you wish to upskill, but then you find out that there's this schedule, and you then, which again, procrastination here is not deliberate. It's not intentional like some other persons who have time but will not do. But you are trying to manage the already clock time. It seems as if 24 hours is just 2 hours. So I don't know your own thinking to this. How do we navigate? How do we navigate this cumberness around you, and yet you're unable to upskill? Like this year now, okay, when you were asking about courses to do, I already have several courses I planned for this year, but this is one. The one with the Fidelity Group is one which I'm happy I'm able to join in now. I'm just afraid that I hope I will not become so cumbered that I will not be able to meet up with the demands. And that has been my own fear about upskilling and growing. You get to a certain stage where things are so much around you. I would like to know your thought around this. This together. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I think you really came from a very practical angle, which most of us, if anyone, all of us, I believe, are working professionals or have worked at some point, even if you're not currently working. This is one thing that all of us face. You think you have time, but then when you go to the office, you realize that 8 hours is not even enough. You need extra hours. Some of us will take jobs and work home so we can be able to meet up, and the reward for good work is more work. The more you do something very good, then they trust you more and they give you more. And then you realize that you're becoming more burdened and more overwhelmed with a lot of work. But I'll tell you a story. A colleague of mine, actively, when I assumed the role as learning and development specialist for my organization, and I was very, very interested in seeing people at the lower cadre, move up a bit by acquiring more skills and competencies and all of that. So I engaged with someone. I was like, you've been in this organization for how long? The person is like, he's been here for more than 10 years. And I'm like, okay, in the same position, yes. And I'm like, for me, I would have been already dissatisfied and frustrated. He was like, yeah, but he gets annual salary increase every year, so he's fine. And I'm like, but there is an opportunity for, we have this program where you could leverage on the organization to do some programs to learn more and improve. It's like, what does he need it for? Now his job is safe, he's comfortable, he's doing his job, and he's a very busy person. Every time, if you want to organize training, I'm like, will you come and join us? The only thing he asks me, will there be food? I'm like, well, there will be food, but come and join this training. Like, bro, I'm really very busy. I'm the one handling this, that. If I leave, there is nobody that will do it. I need to do this, I need to do that, and da. I'm like, okay. But we are very good friends, and he's been here like more than 10 years in this same organization. And then something happened, and we had a bit of financial issues in the organization 2023, and there was need to downsize some positions, and his position was cut. Yeah, he was busy. He thought the organization could not survive without him. He thought he didn't have time to do any training. He was comfortable. And I tell you, the job he's doing, his job is radio operator, Those guys that sit, watch when you need to move with the car, you call them, they will record, okay, you're moving. And when you need to go somewhere, they assign a driver, go take him, or have somewhere. So they are monitoring the movement of all our cars all over this country and making sure that drivers are assigned to carry people from one point to the other. Of course, it's quite a very busy task, but he got so busy in the job, engrossed in the job, forgetting that there are very little opportunity for this job outside of here. And then when his position got downsized, he left. I mean, of course, you can imagine, that was when he was like, he regretted not doing any program. He didn't do he did not have I think he doesn't have a degree, no master's, no professional certification, no nothing. Now, that job that kept you busy from building and improving on yourself, you've also lost the job. And of course, what else does he have to fall back to? Business. If you don't know how to do business, then sooner or later, you're going to be asking people for urgent 2K. So I set this story to let you know that, yes, being busy is a trap to remaining stagnant in life. You have to be busy. Yes, you have to justify your job. But at the end of the day, what is in it for me? If you don't have what it takes to move up from where you are, you're probably going to remain where you are for God knows how long. When promotion comes, they will say, this guy is so good at what he's doing. You remain there. They will not say, this guy has potentials because we've seen what this person is doing. You are so good at what you're doing. In fact, some of my colleagues, being so good in what you're doing has become a reason why most of them have not gotten some of the, growth opportunities. A manager will come, this guy is so good in this thing. I cannot do without him. I need him to really be here. Then there is an opportunity up there. They will say, no. I need this guy here. Nobody can do it better than him. Really? I need to make a step forward. I need to grow. So if you're not making conscious effort to add to what you have to grow, sooner or later, when the organization no longer needs you, they dump you, they don't care. They are not apologetic about it. So you need to be very loyal to yourself first and foremost. This job, what will happen if I don't do it? Who will die if I don't do it? Increase, like for you, thankfully, you have a lot of people you are managing. You need to increase your delegation, increase your planning. In your planning, plan out a time for your own personal development. Treat it the way you would treat your serious job. Because at the end of the day, when the chips are down, your organization will only focus on themselves and they don't care about you. All they owe you legally is a severance package. They give you a severance package and you go. And if it is not enough for you to sustain yourself, God help you. Okay? So please don't get into that trap of being too busy not to invest in your personal or professional growth. Create time to attend your professional associations, meetings, and events. Create time to do 1 or 2 certifications that will give you the edge for the next opportunity up there. Because it will be very bad. You will see opportunity. You have the experience, but you don't have the qualifications for these things. And why did you not have the qualifications? Because you are so busy gaining experience that you did not have time to get the qualifications. And then they will hire somebody else with the qualifications without the experience. And they'll tell you, see, he has the qualifications and we need you to put him through on how we are doing this thing internally so that he can come up to speed. Somebody that should be your subordinate becomes your superior, and you are the one that will teach them the job. Then they bring the certifications. So please treat this, your personal development, as a job that you have to do daily. Put it in your planner on, I need to plan a time for my training, and train yourself, because sooner or later, the only thing you have for yourself is yourself. Your organization will only focus on what matters to them, and all they owe you is what is legally binding, severance package. You go and you face your life. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you so much, sir. I think we are, this is 6:34. If we have one question, maybe if we have anybody that still wants to ask question, we can have one more. But if there is none, do we have anybody that still wants to ask question? Okay. Sincerely, this session was so impacting. If I personally I've learned a lot, and I also believe that others who are on this call and some of the people that are joined on YouTube, I'm sure they are also blessed. Thank you so much, sir. We really, really appreciate you for answering our call and accepting our invitation. We really, really want to appreciate you, and we believe that when else we call you, you are going to be available for us. You know, there is a saying in Yoruba that ocean is where you go and get water anytime, any day. So you are just a very an embodiment of knowledge that we always want to tap from. So thank you so much for coming around. We really, really appreciate you, and we pray that the good Lord will continue to elevate you. The next time we are going to be calling you is going to be on a higher level.
Amen.
The special grace of God. Thank you so much. I want to
I
say
thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the time we spent, and I wish us all the very best.
yeah, we love you. Thank you
Thank
so
you, sir.
much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Sincerely appreciate it.
Do have a splendid night rest. So to
Same to
everyone,
you.
Thank you. Bye.
God, as I've said, our responsibility is to see that we grow in all aspects in our careers, and aside just coordinating the course, please feel free to, you can also suggest, in fact, you can suggest topics, good, maybe when anything you find, though you are not really finding it funny, you can suggest topic, and we will be available to bring up resource people to come and talk about them. And I also want to tell you that you should look forward to, I think the last time I said we'll be having a presentation on LinkedIn optimization. I think we have that. Just watch out for that announcement. Very soon we'll be having presentation on LinkedIn optimization. For us as professionals, it is very important. And for the people on the leadership and management in F, as I've said, your login details have been sent to you. And for people that have taken course with the university before, you can log in and you find the course on the dashboard. For project management in Global F participants, your login details will be sent shortly. And wish everybody a splendid night rest. Okay, let me also announce that the university will be taking, as proposed, to take monitoring and evaluation in Global F again this year. So the application will be starting on the 4th of April. And also transforming your leadership and management skills also. This is an advanced course for leadership and management in F, but it is open to all the participants. You can take it even if you have not taken leadership and management in F before. We also have economic evaluation in Global F, and we also have global mental health that will be coming up. The application will be starting 4th of April. So we'll be looking forward. Please do well by inviting your friends, your colleagues, tell them how wonderful and impacting all these courses are. And as you all know, taking this course as an independent participant costs over 500,000 naira. So doing it at the rate of maybe 45, 50,000, 60,000 is a very, very rare privilege. We don't know. Another VC can come up in the university and say, okay, no, let us restructure this, let the participant be paying the right amount. Like we used to say that the Pharaoh that doesn't know Joseph may come up someday. So it is good that we, utilize this opportunity now to take all these courses, and we pray that the university will continue to, be good to us. But even at that, the world is also changing. Any policy can come up. So please Do have a wonderful night rest. I wish you good success. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.